Yes, I can. Okay, so
Good afternoon. My name is Erin Colburn. I'm the Pre-Health Advising Coordinator for the College of Health Science here at Boise State University. It's with great pleasure that I bring to us some recruiters from the Western University in Pomona, California, Maya Smith and Giselle Camacho. And so I'm going to let Maya go ahead and take it away and talk a little bit about the DO program there in Pomona, California, while I help Giselle get logged in. So.
Okay, thank you very much. So sorry, we do apologize since we were having some technical difficulties, but I'm going to go ahead and just got to get to our medical section. Give me 1 second here. I'm actually just going to start first, and then I'll go ahead and cover our medical school information. Give me 1 second because she was sharing this, so it's not ready on my end. I apologize.
No worries. We're all good here. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can correct this and edit it.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Hide slide, yeah, application process. Hide slide. Okay. Thankfully, I actually come up first anyway, so I think we are good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Let me get to the first page. Actually, that's not my name because she had the presentation. Okay. Apologize here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. Okay, let me get that over there. Let me minimize that and share my screen. We're on screen 3. Okay, so can you guys see my screen? Yes, I think you can. Hopefully. Okay, so sorry about the wait, everyone. So again, my name is Maya Smith, and I am one of the university recruiters here at Western University of Health Sciences. And let me move forward. So just to give you guys a little bit of history about Western University, first of all, we're actually located in Southern California in a city called Pomona, which is in Los Angeles County. So we originally opened as a osteopathic medicine school. So we opened in 1977 as the College of Osteopathic Medicine of the Pacific. And then in 1996, we ended up adding our College of Pharmacy, which allowed us to expand our institution into Western University of Health Sciences. Since then, we've currently added many colleges and programs. I believe we're actually at 29 programs, not 26. We have 9 colleges and 29 programs between here and our other school that is in Lebanon, Oregon. So our medical school, we actually have a campus in Lebanon, Oregon, and we also have a campus here in Pomona, California. So these are just some of the degree offerings that we offer here at Western U, just in case you guys haven't, if you aren't familiar with our university, but we do have dental, nursing, optometry, obviously DO, which is our medical school, pharmacy, physical therapy, podiatric medicine, veterinary medicine. We also added OTD, which is occupational therapy. We also have a lot of master's programs. I don't even think all of them are on here, but we do have quite a few. And if we have some students here that are interested in our, we have a special master's programs for students that feel like they may not be as competitive for our some of our professional schools, whether that being medical school or dental school. We do have a special master's program that does allow you the opportunity to link into one of these programs by taking the 12-month master's program. So that's something I can touch on as well if anybody is interested in that. So a couple of reasons why people choose Western U. So location wise, a lot of people want to live in Southern California. Not necessarily for the prices, but for the location as far as like, you know, our weather, and we're really essentially located between, honestly, we're about 45 minutes between the beach and the mountains. So if you wanted to go skiing, you wanted to go to the beach, we literally have both of those options, and it's about 45 minutes each way based on where we're located. We do have a patient care center and a pet health center. So that means that we are very, very community-based here at Western U. So if you're someone that is really serious about community service and giving back to the community, you're going to want to go to, you'll definitely want to consider us as an option. We do a lot of community education. The patient care center is where we give out medical treatments, testing, things of that nature. We help the underserved population in the area. So it gives you really good hands-on experience, as well as the pet health center. If you're a student here, you actually can bring your pets in for care, if you're students or faculty. So that's something that really cool that we offer. We do have a problem-based learning curriculum, as well as we're one of the pioneers of interprofessional education. So interprofessional education, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that, but since we are a comprehensive health institution, we allow you guys to work with the other disciplines across the campus. So say you are a medical student, you will be given a case study and you'll be paired with 8 other students from different colleges, and you guys are to come up with a patient care plan, so that you guys are to kind of see what it's like to work in the real world, because obviously if you were a doctor or whatever other discipline we have, you will be working with sometimes a pharmacist or a nurse or someone else from another discipline. So we do like to make sure you guys have that opportunity to work across programs. So you guys are given a care program, I'm sorry, a patient care plan in order to go through your own curriculum. We consistently have high grades, high grad rates and board pass rates. I know if anybody was interested in pharmacy, I don't think we said that, but we are #1 in California. As far as our medical school goes, we are like 100% match rates. So everyone is matching at our school into whatever residency they like to go into. So that's something that you should consider as well. We have early clinical experiences. So specifically that I know for pharmacy, you have clinicals in your first semester. So they definitely do make sure that you guys are prepared before going into those rotations. But we do have early clinical experience. So you're getting a more hands-on experience as soon as you're joining the program. We have quite a few partnerships, and we have a plethora of clubs and organizations on campus. So whether that be for your specialty, cultural, or whatever the case may be, there's so many clubs that you can join, and everybody's active here. So let me see. Another question that I know students usually have, just a little bit, is about housing. So we do offer one apartment on campus called the Damier. So that is open to any of the disciplines on campus. So you won't just be with DO students, or you won't just be with nursing, or whatever the case may be. That is for everyone across the board. But we do have that on campus available to you. And if not, a lot of students commute. So in California, a lot of people like to commute anyway, just based on, since we're so located, like centrally located, a lot of our students are commuting and they're living in homes and things of that nature. So we're going to cover DO first, which is our Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine program. So let me go ahead and move forward here. So for some of my pre-med students. So a DO is going to be a complete physician. So I know a lot of people are confused between MD and DO, and they're wondering if they're going to be able to do the same things. So a DO and MD are honestly, they're given the same allowances essentially. So basically you're a full and unlimited practice, you have full and unlimited practice rights in all 50 states. So virtually there is no difference between a MD and a DO as far as when you go into the workforce. A DO has a little bit more additional training. So a DO overall has a holistic approach to medicine. They're emphasizing the whole body, taking into account a patient's lifestyle, environment, and other circumstances. So they might want to see if stress is a factor to your condition, or things of that nature. So they actually are assessing the whole person. They also tend to diagnose a lot with their hands. They are not afraid to touch their patients. It's very it's a little bit more personal, I would say, but they basically have an additional set of training that they have over what an MD has, just because they are doing some of these additional techniques. You can apply for both DO and MD residencies, so you can do both. And then the median annual wage right now is 187,000 plus. So pretty good salary there. So like I mentioned that they do like an additional training for DOs. So that would be what is called osteopathic manipulative treatment, or OMT, which is the hands-on care. So that's going to be involving, that's going to be diagnosing involving using the hands, treating and to prevent or illness or injury. Using OMT, your DO will move your muscles and joints using techniques including stretching, gentle pressure, and resistance. So these are going to be, like I said, they're more hands-on doctors. They won't just treat you kind of like a problem. They really actually look like they care about the patient. They want to see what's going on with you. And it's generally a little bit more personable. So these are the residency matches from 2020. So these are all the ones that we covered. So I know if you guys are interested in any of these programs, or I'm sorry, any of these specialties, we've definitely covered it. So I know dermatology is really competitive. A lot of people have matched in derm. So this is kind of what you want to take a look at to see where our students have matched in the past. So for our DO applications process, so if you're interested in applying to our program, we do go through a COMIS, and we do also require you guys to do a secondary application. The secondary is invite only, so everyone will not receive a secondary. You'll receive a secondary if you scored high enough to move forward in the pool. For application fees, the COMIS charges $196 for the first app, and then $46 for each additional app thereafter. And then your secondary application with us is going to be $65, and the secondary comes from us at Western U. The application date, so it opens May 5th and closes February 1st. It would be advantageous to you to apply early. This is a very competitive program, so you'd honestly want to apply within the summer, I would say, if you would like to be considered, just because you'll give yourself an advantage by doing so. And then tuition and fees is $59,600 per year. And then DPT is next. I want to check in and see, was Giselle able to make it in?
She hasn't yet. Okay. But maybe we could answer quick questions for, does Layla or Freddie have any questions about the DO program at Western University in Pomona? No. Okay.
No. Okay. No, not at the moment.
Okay. I have some questions because chickens. They're all chickens. What would be the what you've heard from students who are in the program now at Western University? What makes Western University special?
I would say, well, I've heard two different things. So it would be the community service aspect. So like I said, if you are someone that really cares about giving back to the community, serving underserved populations, things of that nature, this is for you, just because we do have that patient care center on campus. So a lot of students are they feel like they're actually making a difference because they are, even while they're in medical school, because they are working, at the patient care center on campus. And that's aside from the fact that you have rotations, in clinical sites and things like that. So definitely that aspect of being able to give back to community is something that they like, in addition to the interprofessional education that we offer, where they get to work across the board, across disciplines. A lot of students think that's cool. It's also an opportunity to network, because you never know who you're kind of working with, speaking with. You never know whose family's in medicine or, in a certain field already, or at certain hospitals. You might be able to get your foot in the door somewhere. So those are probably the top two things that I hear.
What advice could you give to students about applying to Western University's DO program?
So when applying to the program, I would say that you do want to make sure that you have community service under your belt. That's something that's going to make you stand out. And honestly, that's something that Western U is looking for across programs. So I believe our average competitive GPA right now is a 3.68. And that's what you're looking at for science, as well as in science and overall. Overall is a little bit higher, but you're pretty much ballpark right there. So I would say you want to have around that GPA. Doesn't mean you have to have exactly a 3.68, but that's our average. So you want to be kind of within that range. Additionally, shadowing a DO is something that we would love to see because this is an osteopathic medicine school. So they do want to see that you've seen the processes of a DO. We are aware the pandemic has affected people so that you can do virtual shadowing. So I know ACOMAS has offers some type of information on how you can do virtual shadowing as well. If you're not able to get into the, the doctor's offices, shadow anyone, having a letter of recommendation from a DO would be advantageous to you because, like I said, they are, since it is a DO institution, they'd like to see that you met with the DO, seen a DO, etc. So they will accept MD as well. Like, it's not that they won't accept it. I'm saying to make yourself more competitive, those are the things that you might want to have. In addition to that, community service. If you have patient care experience, that's something that can make you competitive, as well as if you had any publications or research or things like that that you might have done in undergrad, that can also help you additionally.
Okay. Did that create any more questions for you, Layla or Freddie?
I just had a question about how maybe being a medical scribe or like currently working on research or getting something into publication, if that would make you more competitive or if that's something that you look at just for the application process.
Yes, it is. So
Okay.
that would be under patient care experience that you can add for that, for being a medical scribe. We have a lot of students have applied as scribes, so that would be helpful. And then also when you said you're trying to do research for publication, that would be an additional, kind of tier for that.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Well, I'm kind of dead on Giselle's side of, oh, wait.
Is she in?
She's contacting IT.
Yeah, I think that's what she was texting me during my presentation.
So,
I can do, I technically can cover all the programs. So what other programs did you say? So I can get it started.
so we have PA here and we have OT and Dent.
I can try to go into.
So maybe we could skip PT. I think that's your next slide.
Yeah.
And maybe we could look at talking about your PA program and.
Yes, give me a second. Let me go and make sure that everything is.
If PA, OT, and dentistry
is up to date here. Okay, give me 1 second.
Thanks everybody for your patience with us today.
Yes, thank you very, very much.
Freddie and Layla, if you feel like you got the information you needed, you're more than welcome to head off, or if you just want to sit and listen to the rest of the programs that are offered, types of programs that we provide, that Western University provides, you're more than welcome to do so. You can also send any questions in the chat. Maya and I can try to answer some of those too. Okay.
You said dental would be the next one. Okay, we
can do dental, we can do PA, we can do OT. Those are who are in the room today.
Okay, I can do dental. The PA and PT would be Giselle, so I'm hoping that'll give her some time.
Okay.
To come in.
So Anna is our dental student who has interest in looking into your program. So maybe we could do that one.
Okay, sounds good. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into our Doctor of Dental Medicine program. So I do want to say that this program is competitive. So honestly, our top programs are dental, DO, and PA. PA is our most competitive program. Surprisingly, a lot of people think it would be medical school, but it's actually PA. So, but we're going to be talking about dental for the time being. So if you need any information regarding what dentists do, just to kind of reiterate, they provide preventative and restorative treatments for problems that affect the mouth and teeth. Help people maintain and improve their oral health, quality of life, and appearance. So at Western U, we do have a state-of-the-art simulation lab, which means that we have that for quite a few of our programs, but a simulation lab means that something is simulated and you're able to kind of work with kind of like, I mean, I guess it's a simulation essentially. So it's basically as if you were with a real patient, but you practicing within the university. So we do have that. We offer early patient experience in the first year. So our dental school, even staff, employees, people in the community are allowed to come into our patient care center, the thing that I mentioned earlier. We have a dental clinical experience. So people come in from the public and get work done. So you will be sitting there with a faculty member or a professor, essentially. They'll be sitting with you, and then you'll be working on patients, essentially. So we do that quite early because it's done in your first year. So a lot of our dental students are getting firsthand real experience, and they are actually able to do that within our own facility. You also have rotations and things, but this is actually done within our facility, which makes it more comfortable for students. So and the median annual wage of a dentist is about $158,782. So these are the prereqs to get into the program. So I will tell you that you do need to have your general bio with lab. So you need a whole year sequence of that. Organic chemistry with lab. You also need a whole sequence. General physics, you'll need a whole sequence. A whole year sequence. General chemistry with lab, same thing. And then you'll need the college English and English composition. So we do receive quite a few applications. Like I said, it is very competitive. We receive about 2,900 applications. We only hold a class of 70 students. So as you can imagine, that is very competitive. So, excuse me. Once you turn in your application, I believe we do offer a secondary as well, but you will be going in for an interview. So then after the interview, they will decide on if you are eligible to come into the program or not. Our competitive class stats would be if you are, for your average overall GPA, you want to be around a 3.24 or above that, I would say, just because it is competitive. Average science GPA needs to be above a 3.0. And your average GAT should be, we would say, a 20. About a 20 would make you competitive. So our application goes through AdSAS, and from there, we will send you a secondary application, which comes through Western U. That is not invitation based, so everybody should receive the secondary. Your application fees, so for AdSAS, is $251 for the first app, and then it's $108 for each additional app. Application dates, so we open June 16th and it is due December 1st. So that is your window of applying. I would still apply early. Like I said, it's always advantageous to apply early for whichever program that we have. It's just a lot easier on you by getting in early. And then our tuition and fees are $83,378, and that would be per year. And that was it for dental. So are there any dental questions?
Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. So for the interviews, is it going to be through Zoom or like in person?
So I believe dental has in-person in-person interviews right now. Please note that we're in California and that's subject to change, as we've seen it change quite a few times. So as of right now, I believe they're in person. I haven't heard that they've been on Zoom. But if so, you can always ask, and they might allow accommodations, like depending where you're located. If you can't get in for the interview, they might allow a Zoom.
Okay.
But I believe right now they're in person.
And who should I contact if that happens?
Your admissions counselor.
Okay.
So it would be based on your alpha split. So based on your last name.
Okay.
Okay.
And will you briefly just go over like what the first year student goes, like what their curriculum looks like in the second year, third year, and fourth year?
Let me see if I can find that. Give me 1 second. I will try to see if I can pull that up for you.
And Anna, it does sound like they do get you some clinical experience in that first year.
Right, that's awesome.
Yes, we do. We are very clinical experience driven school. So pretty much most of our programs are starting. What is happening here? I don't know what's wrong with our, oh, here, okay. Something's going on, I think, with our IT end. I think that's why we're having a hard time. I can't even get to describe what we're doing. Why is the tab crash? What is happening? I'm sorry, I apologize. I think something might be going on with Western U's web or internet, because I'm not sure. I've never had this happen. Like it's kicking me out of our own website.
It's okay. I'll look it up.
Okay. Wait.
Well, hang on. If I can get to it, let's see.
Oh wait, I think I was able to get in now. Hold on. I don't know what, it kicked me out of Zoom like 10 times when I was trying to get in. So I was like, what's going on here? Okay, so I am in here. Let me see.
This is what I've got. So Anna, it looks like a typical week. It's kind of nice to be able to maybe look at it from that perspective. So you have your clinical experience here. It looks like study, work, and class time. And that's during the preparatory, and then last 2 years, it looks like the curriculum is a little bit more fuller on the clinical side than it is on the educational side. So it's probably like more didactic. Would you agree, Maya? It's probably more
Yes.
didactic in the first year with a little bit of clinical on the side, and then maybe shifts over to second year. It's probably about 50-50. And then by third and fourth year, you're probably more clinical.
That's
Would you
correct.
agree?
Absolutely.
Anna, did that answer your question? I'm sure
Yeah.
Maya could probably send you the information where it gives you maybe the breakdown of how the curriculum really truly works.
Oh, I actually have it popped up in my
Perfect.
computer right now. Well, thank you.
Anna, did you have any other questions?
That's it.
All right. Well, I have questions about the dental program, because whenever I ask these questions, Anna then comes up with more. What makes the dental program special, you think?
I think the fact that it has the early experience. A lot of other institutions are not having early experiences the way we are. And so I think that it helps students to kind of dive in. That simulation lab is really something that stands out to students, because it kind of releases that fear and gives you more confidence, because you're going to be in the simulation lab first. So you'll be doing simulated stuff before you move on, to the patient care center, where you'll be working with real people. So I think that's something that would make us stand out. We have a large alumni, so a lot of people are very proud of Western U's dental program, especially with the work that they've done in the community, because like I said, they are servicing people in the area. I'm actually a Pomona native, so I can speak to that. I was a former teacher, so I know that they even help students get some of the care that they need in the area. They're offering, some free services and things like that. So I think that's probably the driving factor.
Okay. A lot of dental students we've talked to who are in dental programs talk about when they get out and they become dentists, a large learning curve when it comes to learning business. Do you know of how much business education they give during the dental program?
That I would imagine that we do have business. We have an entrepreneur aspect to some of our other programs. So I definitely think that we do for dentists, for dental. I would have to verify that to get a little bit more information on that.
Okay.
But I know that we do hold business courses, like even for pharmacy, they do that. They're holding business courses. So there are, this is a business course. We've had successful people run their own pharmacies or practices, whether that be in dental. Actually, my dentist is a she's a Western U grad, and she runs her own practice. It's all women-led run dental office, which is really nice. So I think they do that. And a lot of times people like to pair up with some of the people that were in their class. Like for instance, my dentist is paired, I think it's 3 ladies, and they run the practice together, and it's a really awesome practice. So.
Okay, great. All right, Anna, did you think of any other questions you wanted to ask about the dental program at Western U?
The question that I was going to ask you asked already about the business.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So we have preview. I don't know if you're on the website, if you're on that first page, it'll show you that we have like upcoming events. So dental usually has a preview event. So I don't know if you ever attended one of those, but you can hear from the dean and faculty There's usually some students there to answer some questions about how their time is while they've been in dental school. But that's something that might be advantageous to you, so you can kind of get some of your questions answered. That'll give you a more in-depth overview of the program, more detailed.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
Yes, no problem.
Giselle says she's trying to get in now, so we'll see what happens. But maybe we could talk a little bit about the PA program.
Yes, let me
And while you're pulling up your stuff, I will share. So to the students, Jenna, Layla, we actually have an alumni. We have Tracy Huddleston. She graduated from Boise State University and completed a kinesiology degree from Boise State. And then she went to Western University, Pomona, California. She graduated and then she came back to the Boise Treasure Valley area, and she's working at a primary health as a PAC. She did an alumni spotlight for us about probably say about 6 months ago, and it's posted on our pre-professional studies website. She would love to talk to any of you who are interested in PA and maybe even interested in Western University. She could talk about her experience. She was originally from California, so she did know the area, and so that was part of the drive for her applying to Western University. My experience with her talking about this school, she said she was very well prepared from Boise State standpoint to start the program. She was blown away by how quickly the information was disseminated in the didactic year. She said that she was never bored, that she was very, very busy. But she said it was very well put together and she liked it and had a great experience. And then she did her clinical preceptorships in her second year. And so that's another reason why I always bring this program to come talk to you as students, because we have students who have attended Western University and loved it. So that's just my little take there. Did that give you some time to find what you're looking for, Maya?
Yes, it did. I can go ahead and share my screen now. And this is PA program, right? I heard that
Yep,
correctly?
PA.
Okay.
The PA.
Okay.
Your three top
Okay.
ones, right?
Yes.
Jenna, her name was Tracy Huddleston. I can send you the alumni
no.
spotlight.
Okay, thank you.
Is my Zoom still on?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, it's telling me to quit.
It's just slow on the share screen part. Like it says Maya Smith's trying to share. So
Am I back here?
you're here, but
Oh.
your screen isn't sharing.
Okay, sorry. It's because if you can see my screen, it's telling me Zoom quit unexpectedly. It's telling me that I'm not on Zoom. So that's why I'm like completely lost. I'm
But
sorry.
you are on Zoom.
I know.
can see you and hear
I
you.
have no idea what's happening. I apologize, everyone. I think there's something seriously going on with our
If
technology
anything,
today.
all of these students can respect the fact that technical difficulties happen, and it shows them that we don't have control over that. Like
We
it's
don't, not at all. So I do apologize. Let me go ahead and share my screen one more time. And hopefully it leaves me in here.
Oh, promising. Promising. Now she's frozen. See, it happens to all of us, right? Like, and so graciousness and empathy, those are all key factors. Is everybody still on? Except for Maya. So let me pull up that alumni spotlight for Jenna. Okay. Thank you guys for being so patient with us in regards to this. And Jenna, if you decide that you want to talk to Tracy, you can after you've read through her alumni spotlight, you're more than welcome to email me and I can send you her contact information.
That would be great. I was even interested in finding someone to shadow, so I don't know if she would be a potential for that.
Yeah, I don't know if primary health is allowing it, but you could certainly try. So,
Okay.
yeah. Hi,
Hi, I apologize. I don't know what's happening. This has not happened to me before, and Giselle can't even get in. So I'm not sure.
Maya. Well, I have you now as a co-host, so you should try and see if you could share a screen this time.
Yes, let me get my screen back up here. 1 second.
No problem.
Oh boy.
Layla, why don't you go ahead and ask your question that you said you thought of? Jenna, I'm just gonna direct message you the link to the PA one. So
Yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt or
Nope, you're
anything. This is just regarding the DO program, and I don't know how much you might know about the Lebanon campus as well. But if we were to have connections to California and Oregon, I grew up in both states. Would you say that that would maybe give you like make you more competitive, or have you looked at more, or like how that might affect your applications to both of these campuses?
So it wouldn't really have any effect on your application for either or. Oh, Giselle's here. Just because we're a private institution, so we don't have like in-state tuition or out-of-state tuition or anything like that. So for that reason, it shouldn't have too much of an effect. I mean, if you want to speak to a certain area that you may have been in, that you've grown up in like a rural area that you feel like was there were some healthcare disparities or something like that, that might be something that could kind of add to it. But other than that, just if you lived there, that you would have, it would depend on how you spun it, if that makes sense. You have to spin it a certain way for it to make sense, for them to look at it differently.
And I would echo that with Layla, that the Lebanon campus is very rural in its setting. So like if that was like, if you're really interested in family practice medicine and you were really kind of focused on some of those angles, that the Lebanon campus would, that would be a good way to focus some of your essays when you get to your secondaries. Your personal statement, needs to be much broader if you're going to apply to multiple schools. And so I would say that how you communicate why you would want to pursue that institution when you get to the questions on the secondaries. Typical secondaries often have questions, and I can't speak to Western University secondary questions, but they often ask why Western University or why this campus or whatever it is. And if you can answer that based off of that, that can certainly do it. But Western University is a private institution, and they're not going to cater to one group of students or not. But they do have a lot of people who are from Oregon, go to Oregon's campus, and a lot of people from California go to California's campus. It's cost effective, all that.
Yeah, I just wanted to check because of that whole thing. So thank you for answering that.
No problem. Giselle, yay! Maya's like been doing an awesome job. Just so you know, she's been rocking it.
She's awesome.
Tag team in, and so we have what we have left in the room that we haven't gone over is PA and OT. So Jenna is interested in PA, and I think Layla might be interested a little bit in kind of getting some information. And then Maya Piper is interested in OT. So those are kind of the two that are here. Welcome to our team.
All right. So thank you, Maya.
Maya's been surviving with her computer issues too. So
okay.
You're not alone.
Yeah, I know. And then IT couldn't even connect to my computer. He's like, "Are you on Global Protect?" I'm like, "Yes." And it was just like, I don't know, my computer's like, "It's Friday. We don't want to do anything." So I am glad that I can join you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and did you stop sharing I'll go ahead and share the PA, because my OT is actually on a different presentation. We haven't added it to our larger general presentation yet. So I'll go ahead and first start with PA, and then I will stop sharing and then share again for OT.
Great.
All right, so let me see here. Make sure I can get
Maya, you're a rock star.
Thanks. I'm also quite pregnant, so I was getting nervous. So I was like, I have to go to the bathroom probably in between this presentation. So thanks, Giselle.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for holding down the fort here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and start with PA. I know you guys have kind of heard the history and mission, vision, and values of Western U. So PA overview. So we're going to go into our station. So our PA program is 24 months. It is a little bit shorter than other PA programs. Unfortunately, we're only on our Pomona campus, but hopefully in the future, that will be one of the healthcare professions that is going to move to our Northwest Oregon campus. So that's really exciting. So under the supervision of a physician, you would be participating and providing healthcare services for individuals. I know if you've done your research, you know what a PA is. It would be good to, again, we'll talk about like shadowing PA if it's necessary or not. But first year is going to be all in the classroom, so all lecture, and then you'll get some kind of clinical experience towards the end of the first year because it's early hands-on clinical experience. And then the second year will be fully rotation, so you will not be really on campus unless it's didactic week, and you'll be fully in your rotations in the second year. Rotations are set up through our through the rotations coordinator. And say you are not, from California and you are interested in doing rotations outside or back in your hometown, that is completely a possibility if there's availability. So you would work with that coordinator to work out those rotations and be able to do rotations back in your hometown if you'd like. So our MSPA program is really competitive. A lot of people are going into this field just because they really want that personal relationship with their patient. So, and this gives the flexibility as well. So it's really competitive. You want to apply with your strongest application academically. However, they are going to be emphasizing on community service. I know that the chair speaks about this all the time. So community service and volunteering, if you have an ongoing trend of community service and volunteering, or you just have that heart to give back to the community and serve the underserved, they're definitely going to want to see that in your application, along with academics, because it is a rigorous program. So the prerequisites for our program are listed here. And again, they're on our website. And I don't know if Maya's put the website in the chat, but we could do that after the presentation. So college English is required, college algebra, human anatomy and physiology will be done as a prerequisite. So you won't be doing that in the program because it is a prerequisite, but you will be doing other courses with our interprofessional education. So with other health professions. Microbiology, genetics, psychology, general sociology. So all of these are going to be required. Humanities is pretty broad. So if you have specific questions about these prerequisites, I'm happy to answer them. We also have a really amazing database that I know I've shared with you, Robin, Aaron, for our PT program, but we do have it for our PA program as well. So that's really awesome. So it helps if you are, not a science major or you're changing careers, which is encouraged. We do encourage a lot of non-traditional students that are applying to our PA program. You don't have to have a science major. You can, just complete the prerequisites. But if you say, haven't completed all these prerequisites or any of these prerequisites, you'll have the opportunity to do so. And our database will show you what courses meet our requirements. And then as for competitiveness, again, like I said, it's quite competitive. We received just over 2,000 applications. We interviewed just under 500, and we have 98 seats for our PA students. So, and then the average overall GPA is quite high. It's at 3.6 and 3.67, and overall prerequisite 3.75. So you definitely want to be as competitive as possible. It's a rigorous program. And we just want to know that you're going to be successful. I'm sure you want to be successful as a student as well. So they definitely will emphasize on the GPA, but they will also emphasize on well-roundedness as well. So with that volunteer community service, along with your grades. And this program, I don't know if we're going into it yet. No, this program will allow you to retake courses. So, any feedback, if you apply one year and don't get in, but you have a lower GPA, we definitely encourage you to retake courses. There's no amount of limit on retaking courses. And if you have retaken those courses and got a better grade, we'll go ahead and have you fill out a repeated coursework form with your application. And then we will recalculate the GPA, and that's what the admissions committee is going to be seeing, not your old GPA. So that's really helpful if you are looking to boost your GPA, or if you did, really poorly in undergrad and you're just like, man, I'm not gonna, be able to boost my GPA. That is definitely going to help. And again, there's no limit to those, how many you retake. So they're not going to look, it's not going to look frowned upon if you retake like all your courses. They're just focusing on the grade and seeing how much of a science, heavy sciences that you can complete and what you're comfortable with. So again, because it's a rigorous program, we want you to be as competitive as possible. So the application process is through CASPA. So all PA programs is through CASPA. All PA programs, though, are different in their requirements. So you want to do your research and look up every institution's individual requirements. And that kind of goes for all programs, but specifically ours, because we have different requirements than other PA programs. We don't require patient care hours or patient contact hours. However, we do require community service and volunteering hours. So you definitely want to look at those requirements and make sure that you fulfill all of them once you're ready to apply. We don't have a secondary application anymore, so we don't have to worry about that additional fee. And then just the fees for CASPA are up here. They may vary each year, I think so. But the application opens every year in April, so the end of April, and it closes November 1. So, and then there's just a list of the tuition and fees, just overall view, but there's more information on our website. Our application deadline is a firm deadline. You do want to apply as soon as possible. We are on a semi-rolling admissions. We will start interviewing in October for our PA program, so you want to just get your application in as soon as possible. And there's been delays with CASPA, so we don't see your application until it's verified through CASPA, so you definitely want to just keep up with your emails and contact CASPA if they haven't, processed a transcript or anything. Again, we don't see that application until it's verified through CASPA, but you definitely want it verified prior to the November 1st deadline to be considered. Oh, okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and open up. Erin, would you like us to do questions now, or should I just go over OT and then we can have those general questions at the end of the presentation?
Well, maybe what we could do is, because I know that Jenna is the only PA.
Oh, okay.
Jenna, do you have any quick questions for Giselle about the PA program?
She pretty much covered all of them. One thing that I would wonder is what kind of experience stands out. I know you said like volunteer and community service on applications, but what about like patient care experience and things like that?
Yeah, so patient care experience, you can include on your application. It is a requirement for other PA programs, but it's not going to be emphasized in our program. Again, what's emphasized is like community service volunteering. So if you have an ongoing, trend of volunteering your time or volunteering with a specific organization and giving your time to the community, they want to see that. So I would indicate that on your application. That's going to make you, yeah, definitely those hours are going to make you more competitive than say your experience. And again, academics as well. So you want to have a strong academic GPA when you're applying, as strong as possible. And then the community service and volunteering. And then knowledge of the profession. If you have an opportunity to shadow a PA, great. That's not required, but that will definitely show the admissions committee that you have put the time in to understand the profession and you really know what you're getting into and you have an idea of the profession.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Giselle, what makes the PA program special at Western University?
Yeah, they have great student support and faculty support. The faculty has an open door policy, and again, that kind of goes over all of our programs. They have great relationships with the students, and they're really well prepared. Some of the PA students I heard are like way advanced before the DO students because it's such a fast-paced curriculum that they're already learning things that the DO students have not even learned yet. So it is a fast-paced environment, but again, fully supported by the faculty and the staff, and they take the feedback of the students. It's kind of like a kind of family feel because it's like a small little cohort. You do get a buddy at the first your first year so that you have a second year that can kind of help you out, the transitioning from undergrad to, you know, a graduate program. And then again, the student support, like our academic tutoring, academic counseling through our learning enhancement and academic development department. And through that department, you can also get some wellness. So if you have anything personal going on, there is personal counseling as well as academic counseling through that. And then it's free of charge. So we're pretty well established. Our PA program was one of the first health professions that was in addition to our DO when we first started out in 1977. So they have been around for quite a while. We have relationships with many clinics and large hospitals in Southern California. And then again, that opportunity to do rotations, bless you, rotations in different areas or states is really awesome. And our students really appreciate that.
Great. Thank you. Anything
Yeah.
else, Jenna? And then if you don't want to listen to the OT presentation, you're more than welcome to leave if you need to.
Yeah, I think I'm set. Thanks for all the information.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay.
OT! Yay,
Okay,
OT!
let me bring up OT. Oh, let's see. Okay, so I'm having issues with the share screen. I have like so many presentations up. Okay, let me grab that presentation and we can go. I lost you guys. Okay, so I am going to share our OT presentation that our faculty put together, and it's pretty long, so I'm going to just kind of breeze over some of the information that, again, you've already heard, like our campus history and all of that. But our OT program is going to see their inaugural class now in 2023. So initially they tried to start a little bit early in hopes that we can start this year. They are in the process of accreditation, and they are only solely on our Oregon campus. So unfortunately, they're not at Pomona campus, but they are on our Oregon campus. So again, we'll kind of breeze through the history of Western U. We're really excited that this is the second program that's going to be on our Northwest campus. The first one was our PT program. And I'll definitely if you have any questions about that, we can do that. So the mission of the OT program is through humanistic and transformative education. They want to inspire and cultivate occupational therapists as clinicians, leaders, educators, researchers, and advocates for well-being. So their focus is the well-being and getting not only getting patients back to movement, but also being advocates for their well-being if they are injured or if they have a disability or any type of special needs. So they do emphasize on the community as well. So again, the Oregon location is in a rural area, so they are going to focus on those vulnerable populations, the more rural health, and kind of build up that community there. They have a brand new building, which they are sharing with our PT students. So it's really awesome. I hope that we included some pictures, but we will, if not, I will definitely have some updated. I'm actually going to go to Oregon and visit our campus. So I'm really excited about that. They actually have, go back to our building. They actually have a full-on apartment that has been created inside the building so that they can work with the students and better help their patients if they have at-home care. So that's really awesome. So where occupational therapists can work. He listed hospitals, nursing homes, again, private homes. That's why we have our apartment, private therapy clinics, and then neonatal intensive care units as well. So there's like huge possibilities and extensive areas that OTs can work. Children's centers, schools, community centers, hand therapy centers, again, clients' homes, and so much more. So they are affiliated with different programs, and you'll be working with, you can work with young students and then also individuals that have substance abuse issues, and then older adults as well. So there are different communities that you can work with. So an ideal candidate that they're looking for is somebody that's passionate about helping others, somebody that's a well-rounded human, somebody that is interested also in the arts and humanities. So if you are thinking about OT, or if you are a psychology major or a human development major, all of that can be beneficial, and you may be interested in OT. So if you're interested in leadership and implementing change, and a holistic view of the whole person, and then somebody that's just aware of the OT profession in general. So that's pretty straightforward. I thought I had our prereqs on here. So this is a contact page, but I think we can keep going. I'm not going to go over the curriculum quite yet. They are still kind of in the process of updating that information, but I will go over, and since it's a brand new program, the faculty and the chair will be kind of maneuvering that until our next inaugural, or the next year for their inaugural class. But I'll talk about the application process. So we are on OTCAS. So if you are interested, you would apply through OTCAS, where you apply for other OT programs. And the application will actually open this July, and it will close June 10th. That is going to be, actually, sorry, this was from last year's, but we're going to be having some new deadlines. But the OTCAS in general opens in July, and the deadline will probably be subject to change. Qualified candidates are going to receive or are going to complete an interview and a timed proctor writing sample. And then applicants will be notified of acceptance again in May 2023. So early application is encouraged. Some more requirements are, again, OTCAS application, bachelor's degree, and then the degree must be conferred by that spring of the matriculating year. And then a recommended overall GPA of a 3.0. So if you don't quite have that GPA, still apply, contact us, but you definitely want to try to meet or exceed this. Again, it's not going to make you, it's not a firm deny if you do not have a 3.0. So it's just highly recommended. And then letters of recommendation that are required for this program are 3 letters. They just cannot be from family members or friends. So anybody that's that you're working with in an organization, or if you have a manager or a supervisor, and then a science professor, even a psychology professor, any of those would be acceptable for the application. And you can send those through OTCAS. All right, so some of the prerequisites are listed here. So you will have to complete these prerequisites. You can have them in progress. You do not have to have all of them complete when you're ready to apply, but you do want to have majority of them in progress. So human anatomy, physiology, they can be combined. The science prerequisites need to be within 7 years, similar to our other programs. And then non-science prerequisites are a little bit different for this program. So 3 psychology courses, including abnormal psychology, are required. English composition or writing, 1 semester, 3-semester units. And then statistics, medical terminology, any semester. So I think some medical terminology courses are like 1 unit, that's still okay, or 2 units. Semester units, that's okay. So any amount of semester units, as long as you have taken a medical terminology course. Human development or lifespan, and then 1 course of humanities or the social sciences. So human development and lifespan may kind of overlap with the psychology courses, but you are going to have to take those separately. So you will have to still have the 3 psychology courses and then have an additional human development or lifespan course. Oh, and that will conclude. I think that's where I'm supposed to go back.
Awesome. Any questions for Giselle, Maya?
It's a little loud where I am, so I was gonna type it in the chat really fast.
Okay, that works. We can give you the Zoom pause. While you're doing
Yeah.
that, why don't I ask the question I ask everybody? What do you think is going to make the OT program special at Western University?
Yeah, I think because of the location, they're really excited about the area, about the growing, health professions on our Oregon campus. And then the new building, the facilities, and then just the students being able to work with our physical therapy students. Our faculty right now are trying to work out the clinical rotations and the clinical experiences with the surrounding hospitals and clinics in the Lebanon area, Corvallis, Eugene, even in the Washington area, so even up north. So I think that it's going to be really exciting. Similar to our PT students, they were really excited to kind of have the whole faculty to themselves for the first year. So they were able to have that full attention and then also give feedback. Our faculty is always willing to take feedback from the students. Like, what can they do better? What did they like about this year? What didn't they like about this year? And the fact that the faculty and the chair take that into consideration, I feel it's pretty unique, or, it's really awesome for the students to be able to feel that they're being heard. And things can change if maybe they weren't working this first inaugural class. And again, just the opportunities that they're going to have doing rotations outside of the Lebanon area as well, outside of Oregon. They could do them across the country. I don't know about international right now, just with all these regulations, but they are talking about all across the United States having these rotations. So you would have to be willing to kind of travel during that time. And then again, you don't have to stay in Oregon once you graduate, but you do have the opportunity, and you're going to be kind of building networking in that Pacific Northwest area.
Great. The question Maya Piper had was, what is one activity outside of school that would make an applicant stand out for the OTD program? What are some examples of some great activities?
Yeah, I think any activity that has to do with not only community service, but also working with individuals that are, I know, like, for example, there are opportunities where you can speak with young women that have been traumatized, or they have gone through something, I guess, like a hotline, if you would say, like, something along that organization. So if you have the opportunity to not only volunteer your time and helping the community, but helping with those types of unique situations. Again, they're really focusing on like human development and individuals with special needs. So if there's an organization when you're working with, students with autism, or organization in your community with special needs, that is going to stand out to our admissions committee and the chair.
Maya has an awesome job.
Really? Okay.
She does, but I don't think she realizes how awesome it really is and how much it's going to help her stand out. But
yeah, I forgot to ask Maya if you could even hear us. So I don't know if you want me to type the message, or we can talk.
No, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Maya, why don't you tell them what you do?
Can you guys hear me okay? I know it's a little
Yes.
loud. So I am a community support worker I'm employed by the state, but I work for an independent family for their daughter who has disabilities, and I kind of just support her with like everyday activities of daily living, and more like even just like a social aspect, because like making her become more independent when she like orders at a restaurant, or just like different social integrations, always just trying to like help her include those in like our, I guess, everyday activities.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely something that the admissions committee can see and what they're looking for in an applicant. Somebody that's just, there alongside with the individual and helping them just to function, in the capacity that they can. So that sounds great. Maya,
And that's just a shameless plug on my part because I send out emails to all students for all programs. If you're listening to this recording and you are hearing this, you should be paying attention to those emails because that's how Maya got that job.
Yeah, definitely.
So make sure that you're looking at some of those things.
Exactly. OT is not only looking for science majors, they are definitely emphasizing on, human development majors, psychology majors, any of those type of different, apart from the sciences. So definitely, if you're interested, you may not even know that you're interested in that, but you're already involved in it or you're already doing it. So reach out if you have any questions. We would love to speak with you further.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Right. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording.